Alright, what's up everybody? Back again, and in today's video what we're going to be talking about is the perfect diet to help build you your dream physique. And the first thing I want you guys to really understand is that yes, the perfect diet does exist, alright? And I'm not talking about what these, fitness YouTubers be talking about with like, oh yeah, you can eat the Oreo cookies as long as it fits your macros and oh, if you don't drink your protein shake within 30 minutes post workout, then you're gonna miss that protein window and all your gains are gonna be lost. It's none of that stuff. And I was that person for years who used to watch those guys. I'm not gonna call anyone out by name, but I watch the same guys that you guys probably watch say that kind of stuff, and it really wasted a lot of time for me and made me miss out on a lot of my potential, because truth is that stuff doesn't work. And what they're telling to you isn't even what they practice, right? Like, they don't even follow that kind of a diet. They're just selling that to you because it's what sound good. And the other thing is too, a lot of these guys are on the juice, right? So they're not building that body, just from the foods they're eating. But I digress. I want to tell you guys the truth, what I've learned from my years of training and my years of trying all different kinds of diets. I'm going to give you guys the perfect... My bad, boys. My camera gave up on me there, but like I said, I'm about to give you the perfect diet you need for your goals. So the first thing I want to kind of establish with you is to get the idea of diet out of your head. And what I mean by that is the word diet itself almost has this connotation to it where you're only going to be doing this thing for a certain period of time until you reach your goal, and then once you reach that goal, you're just gonna throw it away and go back to your old habits. And maybe that's what a lot of you guys are doing right now, and that's why you're here on this video, right? Like, the old stuff hasn't been working. So kind of get it out of your head that oh, I'm going on a diet. Instead, you're changing your lifestyle, right? You're changing the way you eat for life, because what I'm going to teach you guys with this is just how you're going to be eating the rest of your life, right? It's the natural way to eat. So get that thought of I'm going on a diet out of my head, and instead try to replace it with okay, I'm changing the way I eat now for life, okay? Because doing this and eating the way I'm going to kind of talk about in this video, it's going to completely change your body. It's going to completely change your health, okay? This style of eating not only helps you build muscle, it minimizes fat gain, it allows you to lose fat too as well, right? It improves your overall health, and it keeps you satiated, right? Meaning that it's not one of those things where you're always going to feel hungry or always going to have these cravings, okay? It's a fulfilling way to eat, satisfies all cravings, all needs. So let's talk about why I'm such a believer in this stuff. And it's because before I even saw any changes in my body, I saw changes to my health, okay? I'm a person who, for the first 19 years of my life, I had such bad allergies that I had to take a pill every single night, a prescription pill from a doctor, not some Allegra or Benadryl. This was a real prescription pill, that had to be paid for, and I had to take it every night for 19 years. Right? And it wasn't until I switched up my diet and really started eating more whole foods and the stuff I'm going to be telling you guys about, that I all of a sudden didn't have these allergies anymore. So what I do, I stopped taking the pills, and now it's been 4 years and I haven't taken a pill since for my allergies. They've been completely gone. And that comes from just switching up your diet, eating clean. I actually have a book that I'm resting the camera on, so I'm going to mess up my angle here a little bit. I don't have a tripod yet, boys, but I read this book, right, Deep Nutrition by Catherine Shanahan, and in this book, which I'll put a link in the description for you guys if you want it, it's a big book. It's like textbook style, but it goes into everything, and it taught me a lot about nutrition and, just how not only it's going to make my body better, but make my health better. So go into it with that mindset. You're not just changing your body with this, you're changing your health, and it's going to be something for the better, all right? All right, so first thing we're going to talk about here is everybody's favorite macronutrient, and that's going to be protein, and what to do about your protein intake. Now, I don't really have too much to say about this because it's pretty simple, right? Eat your meats, steak, chicken, turkey, seafood. Eat your meats. Beans have a lot of protein. You guys know your protein sources. just keep them whole. What I do want you to focus on is your protein timing, meaning I always want you to have, with every meal or snack you have, a minimum of 20 grams of protein, because what that does is it keeps your protein synthesis high. And basically what protein synthesis is it's the building block of muscle, right? It basically takes that protein and helps with building muscle, but not only that, is it helps with preservation of muscle. So your body can use muscle as an energy source if your glycogen stores are low, right? But as long as you have your protein high enough within the blood, then your body's not going to look at your muscle for energy, it's going to look at your fat for energy. Okay, so let's say you're having like 3 square meals a day and then 2 snacks. Just always make sure you're hitting a minimum of 20 grams of protein. And for snacks, that can be pretty easy, right? You can just have like a protein bar. Usually those are 20 grams, or a protein shake is usually 25 grams for snacks. Even yogurt, like if you have a good amount of yogurt, you'll be right around that window. And then for your meals, it shouldn't be too hard to find 20 grams of protein in there. So yeah, stick to your meats and always aim to hit those 20 grams of protein. And let's jump right to carbs next. Carbs, again, all this stuff is simple, guys, right? Eat your complex carbohydrates, right? That's your whole foods, that's your whole grains, your veggies, and your fruits, okay? That's it right there. There's plenty of foods to eat within those 3 categories, so you can't really get bored. And that's all I have to tell you about carbs. I mean, before training, right? Like your meal before training and your meal after training are when you should have the most carbs, in my opinion, right? Just for glycogen purposes, to get the body using glycogen as its main source of fuel, and then to restore all that depleted glycogen back into the muscles post-workout. That's when you should have the most of whatever complex carb source you have. But besides that, whole grains, veggies, and fruits. Go crazy, like you're gonna be straight, okay? The third macronutrient we're going to talk about, which is obviously fat. Again, simple, guys. Olive oils, butters. That's pretty much it. Avocados too is a great source of fat, but keep it simple here. Your fats are important for really regulating your hormones, and you know, people try to act like, you know, maybe it's not such a good thing to keep your fats at a certain level, but I'm telling you guys, like, you don't really have to worry about it. You know, just have some, you know, if you're having rice, throw some butter in there, throw some olive oil on your meals. Fats are an easy thing to get into your diet. Just avoid seed oils. That's my only advice here. Like, seed oils are legit poison. I'm gonna have to make a deeper video later on about seed oils, but like, avoid them like the plague. They're poison, man. Anyway, going on to our next thing here. Okay, next I want to talk about meal timing and just eating windows and all that, because I know a lot of people are going to talk about intermittent fasting, and it's definitely something I've given a try in the past, and while it didn't necessarily not work for me, I didn't see it as such a beneficial thing that you know, I'm not one of those people that are huge on it, right? I don't think you guys need it either, regardless of what your goals are, whether you're cutting weight or adding weight. I don't think it's needed for your goals. The only timing recommendations I do have for you is figure out what kind of person you are. And what I mean by that is, like, I'm the kind of person who eats pretty light throughout their day, right? Like, as time goes on and the day comes to an end are when my volume in my meals go up. So I don't eat too much early on, and then right before bed, or not right before bed, but my last meal is when I like to have my most volume. Maybe you're just like me and keep it that way, or maybe you're the complete opposite, and when you wake up you like to have some of your biggest meals, and then as the day goes on you lighten up on the volume. But regardless what you choose to do, the only rule I have for this is you have to have your last meal 3 hours before you go to bed. Okay, so say you go to bed 10 p.m., right? Last meal has to be at 7 o'clock. That's the only timing, I guess you could call it, a restriction I have for you guys. And there's many reasons for that. Not too much that I have to get into. It's like, it just has to do with how your body's processing all that as you're sleeping and muscle building. But besides that, you know, you're free to go as you please with meal timing. So kind of wrapping it up here with the perfect diet for you guys. A big thing I like to say to people is eat ingredients, not the package, meaning like if you look at a packaged food, something you find in stores, right, that comes in a package, there's a huge list of ingredients on there. And now usually the ingredients themselves, not all of them, but most of them are actually kind of healthy for you, right? The kind of example people always use when talking about this is like, eat the potato, not the potato chip, right? You get what I'm saying? So eat ingredients, not the package, okay? Basically that means anything that comes from the earth, right? Animals come from the earth, plants come from the earth, fruits, like, it's pretty simple, guys. Just keep that in mind when you're eating, right? Like, the only things that I personally eat that don't come from the earth are, I have protein shakes and protein bars. Those are the only two like processed foods I eat, okay? And that's just to make sure that I'm in that protein synthesis window that we were talking about. But everything else I eat is just either a fruit, a veggie, or an animal, okay? So it's pretty simple there. Eat ingredients, not the package. Just eat things that come from the earth. And before I wrap it up, I just want to quickly touch on macros in case anybody asks. I'm not someone who's big on tracking macros. I'm more into just kind of paying attention to my calorie intake. And I have a Fitbit here that I use that helps me with that, right? Like, it tells me my daily calories burned. Like right now, you guys probably aren't going to see that. It's at, forget it. It's at 3,000 right now, right? And it's 6:49 p.m. right now. So I still have a few more hours before I go to bed. And it's at 3,000. And right now I'm doing a little cut. So basically, if you're doing a cut, I always say try to be 300 to 500 calories below your daily calories burn, right? So I'll be eating around 2,500 today. If you're doing a bulk, I say be 350 calories over your total calories burn. And that's about it. I don't really track macros. I just like to make sure that I'm within 130 to 180 grams of protein eaten per day. Like, somewhere in that 50 gram range. It doesn't matter how big you are, like, you'll be fine. So I advise you guys to take those numbers as well. Just be within 130 to 180 grams of protein, and then let all the other food groups fall in around that, and you'll be straight. All right, that's the perfect diet, guys. Like, I didn't give you a bunch of like meals and foods to eat. I told you, if it comes from the earth, eat it, right? Eat your whole grains. It's really simple. Give it a try. Like, I promise you, it's great for your health, it's great for your body, it's great for the mind. It's simple. And quick, I don't want to act like, I never enjoy, like a slice of pizza or something. Like, there's always room for that, right? But you really got to minimize it. I won't, if I have a slice of pizza, I'm not going to have it, 4 times a week. It's going to be like once a week, twice a week if I'm on a vacation or something, right? But for the most part, I keep it clean. Guys, you feel so much better. Your skin looks better. Like, it's the way to go, right? It's the way to eat. It's the way to live. So give that diet a try. And yeah, share this video with someone who you think could benefit from it, who you think could use an upgrade to their diet. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And if you guys have any more questions about diet, just leave them in the comments. Like, it's hard to cover everything in these videos. I can see these videos already pretty long. It's like the longest video I've had so far. So I know a lot about diet and nutrition. It's just hard to cover it all. So if you have more questions, please feel free to ask me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.